All right, the top story this afternoon is about illegal immigration, and not just about India, but about Indian illegal immigrants being deported from the United States of America. The first batch deported from the USA into India has reached. The flight landed in Amritsar, but there was a full-on debate about it. There's a video now that's been officially released by the US Border Patrol. 104 illegal Indian immigrants, that video on your screen, were handcuffed in shackles on board the C-17 US military jet. Now, this led to outrage. The Congress jumped in saying, how was this allowed? What is India saying about it? External Affairs Minister Jaishankar, just a short while back, was speaking in the parliament and has stated that it is America's policy to restrain deported immigrants and deported illegal immigrants, and has been with other immigrants as well. And the norms have been unchanged since 2009. But he's also added that women and children, if part of this batch, were not restrained. He, however, said he will raise the issue of mistreatment, if any, with the American government. So what does the US Border Patrol say? Some strong words, though, were used, saying this is the farthest deportation flight yet on board a military jet, and warning that anyone crossing illegally into the USA will be removed, and like this. But the opposition is up in arms. Here, in domestic politics, protesting against what they said were inhuman behavior shown to the deputies by the USA. The 104 illegal Indian immigrants were caught at the US-Mexico border. They were trying to illegally attempt to enter into the USA. Many, as we call it, also the donkey route, leading to a massive commotion in the parliament as well over this.
Deportations by the US are organized and executed by the Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE authorities. The standard operating procedure for deportation by aircraft used by ICE, that is effective from 2012. I repeat, that is effective from 2012, provides for the use of restraints. However, we have been informed by ICE that women and children are not restrained. Further, the needs of deportees, including during transit, related to food and other necessities, including possible medical emergencies, are attended to. During toilet breaks, deportees are temporarily unrestrained if needed in that regard. This is applicable to chartered civilian aircraft as well as military aircraft. There has been no change, I repeat, no change from past procedure for the flight undertaken by the US on 5 February 2025. We are, of course, engaging the US government to ensure that the returning deportees are not mistreated in any manner during the flight. At the same time, the House will appreciate that our focus should be on crackdown, strong crackdown on the illegal migration industry, while taking steps to ease visas for the legitimate traveler. On the basis of information provided by returning deportees about the agents and others involved, law enforcement agencies will take necessary preventive and exemplary actions. After their return, are we making an effort, which Honorable Member Tirchi Siva asked, are we making an effort? Yes. In fact, that is why the authorities have been given instructions, and I would urge Honorable Member Sanjay Singh not to misrepresent that instruction. They have been given instruction to sit with every one of the returnees, find out how did they go to America, who was the agent, how did this illegal industry happen, how can we take precautions so that this does not continue. We have been very, I would say, sir, sympathetic and solicitous to the predicament of people going. So I do not want the House or the public to have a wrong understanding of how they were received. Many people ask me, where did we have consular access to these 104 or others who are in detention? In many cases, sir, consular access, embassy would like to have consular access to any Indian national, but that national has to request consular access. In many cases, they have not requested, so we were not aware. But in every case, We have obtained passport details, we have checked their verification, we have ensured that they are Indians, and we have had contacts to ensure that that is the case.
40 घंटे की यात्रा जिसमें एक टॉयलेट, इस अमानवीय तरीके से उनको जबरन भारत भेजा गया और सरकार चुप्पी साधे रही। क्या ये व्यवहार एक आतंकवादी या उग्रवादी का व्यवहार है भारतीयों से?
When countries like Colombia, which don't even figure in the top 10, can send an aircraft and bring their citizens back with dignity, what stops our government from sending one aircraft? We don't have a shortage of it.
Thank you.
भारत की धरती पर जब उतर गए तो आप भी उनको सम्मान देने के लिए तैयार नहीं। हरियाणा के कैदी वैन में हमारे नागरिकों को ले जाया गया। अमेरिका ने जो किया उसके साथ तो आप खड़े ही हैं, उसको तो आप बखान कर रहे हैं। हमारी धरती पे उनके साथ कैदी वैन में उनको लाया गया।
How does this deportation align with India's broader policy on protecting its citizens abroad? Will the Indian government raise this, particularly the inhuman aspect of it, which scares us all, intimidates us, at a multilateral platform or in a bilateral manner?
माननीय सदस्यगणों, आपकी चिंता सरकार के ध्यान में है और ये विदेश नीति का मामला होता है, दूसरे देश का विषय है, भारत सरकार के संज्ञान में है। इसलिए मेरा आपसे निवेदन है कि प्रश्नकाल महत्वपूर्ण समय होता है और प्रश्नकाल के महत्वपूर्ण समय में मतदाताओं की चिंताएं, उनकी समस्याएं, उनकी कठिनाइयों को हम उठाने का प्रयास करते हैं।
बहुत बातें की गई कि मोदी जी, ट्रंप जी बहुत अच्छे मित्र हैं और मोदी जी ने ऐसे क्यों होने दिया? क्या हम अपना जहाज नहीं भेज सकते थे उनको लेने के लिए? इस तरह से क्या इंसानों के साथ बर्ताव किया जाता है कि उनको हथकड़ियां पहना के, बेड़ियां पहना के भेजा यहाँ पे?
क्या विदेश मंत्री को जवाब देना चाहिए? विदेश मंत्री को
उनको जवाब देना चाहिए, प्रधानमंत्री जी को जवाब देना चाहिए। ये कोई तरीका है क्या?
The manner in which this was done was most unfortunate. Done very abruptly on a military aircraft and apparently in handcuffs according to some of the detained. That is really unacceptable. They should treat Indians with dignity. Yes, these people broke their laws. They have every right to deport them. And if it's proven that they're Indians, we have every obligation to accept them. On that, there is no dispute. But the manner in which it is done should reflect a certain respect for human rights and for the relationship with India.
Other governments have protested against this. A government of the size of Colombia has protested vehemently. And yet our government, which is a strategic partner of the Americans, Prime Minister Modi, who on several occasions has organized rallies for President Trump, remains a mute spectator, remains quiet. I don't understand why. I remember when Dr. Manmohan Singh ji was India's Prime Minister, a female IFS officer was mistreated by the Americans, and he took a very firm stand against the against the American embassy and both the American government. Today, more than 25 women have been mistreated. More than 17 children have been mistreated, and our government is remaining a mute spectator.
It's pain to see yesterday's pictures, the pictures which are coming out, saying that which Indians were being deported, who went to US through the agents and others for crores of rupees they had given it, they had been cheated. External Affairs Minister Jaishankar ji, whenever opposition leaders speak outside India, he says that India has been insulted. This is not an insult to India. Is it not an attack on India?